the original Season 2, Episode 16, Save My Soul. I enjoyed this episode because we got to see like a lot of interesting development for some of the characters, especially the stuff that of course happened with Klaus and Freya. And Klaus in this episode, like I know that's his character where he does really just off the wall stupid stuff sometimes. Like when he killed his dad, it seemed like, seemingly there was no reason behind it, and it was his dad, like his actual dad, who was in like one episode, which really made it surprising. But in this episode, we got to see him again in like one of his highest stages of like paranoia, where it's like, I would have done this, I do this just to kind of get on your good side and make you feel sympathy and make you want to help me. So I'm not going to trust our sister who's, basically who we never really even knew existed. We thought she was, gone. And, it's kind of interesting to kind of watch him just lose it in this episode where he does like the little lunch thing, and then like he was nice then, and then after that it seemed like he was just a complete dick. Like he was doing pretty well during the little lunch thing he invited her to, and once they needed help with Rebekah, like her and the whole Eva Sinclaire thing, they're like sitting in the little bar. He's just like, what? Like, oh, I don't believe this. He just like kept saying that like over and over again, and then of course he snaps her neck like, well, if she's immortal, then we'll find out and stuff. And it was just crazy that he was going to such extreme heights. To me, at least, it was kind of crazy that he was doing that. And I understand that's his character. That's what he does, where he sort of vets everyone to like the extreme. But I was really surprised he actually took it to this level, in this episode. I understand. I mean, there are so many different aspects with her character, seemingly, coming out of nowhere after all this time, and all these different things, and how he explains towards the end, he saw nothing but anger and fear in her eyes. So he knows she really wants Dahlia gone, just like they do. The only difference is she wouldn't care nearly as much. That's what he thinks, at least. Like, I don't really know. It's kind of hard to gauge some characters, but it's her family, and she seemed really close to Finn when he came back, or when she came back and she first ran into him. So I don't know why she, just randomly changed and not give a crap about her younger siblings and stuff like that. So I'm actually really excited to see how she sort of joins the team and for how long, because they could bring her in as, obviously one of the originals, and if they defeat Dahlia and it doesn't, for whatever reason, magic-wise, destroy Freya too, she could become a permanent member of the series, or, a member for a very long time at least, because she is one of the originals technically. And, she is immortal, and if they can find some way to defeat Dahlia, then I'm sure they'll find some way to defeat the, to kind of break the curse where she only stays awake for 1 year at a time and stuff like that. She would, however, age, and I think that would be an interesting thing if they did kill off Dahlia and, Freya still existed. Then she would technically age. I mean, obviously, it wouldn't make any difference. It's not like the show's going to go on for 20 years and we'll actually see that happen. But, it would be, like, a thing that would actually happen. She would actually age and they could make it work in the show. But I enjoyed that. I like the stuff with Eva Sinclaire. We didn't actually get to see nearly as much as I was hoping for in this episode. And it seems like that's actually going to be, like, the really big focus in the next episode, because Eva Sinclaire is going to officially take over. So I'm once again excited for that. Hopefully it's actually the main point of the episode, because for this one, really it was like two little flashes, or like she passed out one time really, and then she had like the little flashback stuff, and then we got to see at the end of the episode that she actually took out Davina, and obviously that only matters because she's a main character. But I was hoping it would be a much bigger portion of the episode. We did learn a little bit about her, because we find out that the character Vincent, who Finn took over, was actually married to Eva Sinclaire. So I thought that was actually kind of cool. And I was getting like incredibly bright in here now. I actually thought that was kind of cool. It was interesting to see Vincent as Vincent, and it wasn't Finn. And I like the actor. It was interesting to watch him play a different role where he wasn't manipulating everyone or trying to kill everybody off. It was just him like, I don't know what the heck's happening. I've been gone for 9 months. I just want to go home. I want to get the heck out of here. And, hopefully he does stay in the series. I don't know if he'll really help anyone out or anything like that. But I like his character because he mentions the fact that he got out of, kind of being a witch. He was done with that. He's like, separated myself from all that. I lived through a lot of the craziness, the vampires. He mentioned things that are even worse, and I was hoping they go into that because I was hoping, Cammy would say like, what's worse than the vampires, but they didn't mention that, so maybe that was like just a tiny drop of foreshadowing or something like that. Hopefully, that would be really cool if they did it that way, but. I still like his character. I really like the actor. Like, I was upset that he was turned back into, Vincent and it wasn't Finn anymore. But if they keep the actor around, then it won't make much of a difference. I like the actor, and then we'll get to see him as, Vincent instead of Finn, manipulating everybody and killing everybody off. So, I'm excited to see exactly where his character goes, if they keep him in the series or not. I'm assuming they will, at least till the end of the season, if he ends up getting killed off or something like that. But the relationship they had between him and Cammy in this episode was really cool because of just everything that happened between Cammy and Finn, and it's like now she's actually helping this guy out, and it was just kind of funny. She was doing the role that Finn was doing for her when he was manipulating her, and now it's reversed. Except she's not actually trying to manipulate Vincent, and it's actually I thought it was really cool to see that aspect where she kind of has to move past all the physical aspects of things because people have to do that in this show when people are just hopping around bodies. So it was really cool to watch her deal with that. It didn't seem as much of an issue when she actually ended up seeing him, which I thought was fairly interesting because she talked to Marcel about how she doesn't want to see him and stuff. But once she did, it wasn't really too much of an issue. She was able to get past it, and I actually enjoyed watching that and seeing her help Vincent after everything that happened with his body, but Finn's mind. So I thought that was another cool little thing we got. And then Rebekah, of course, and the Eva Sinclaire stuff. I'm excited to see where all that goes and how her channeling this power makes her so much stronger, especially if it's Davina. I don't know if I guess Davina isn't as powerful as she used to be anyway because of the whole harvest stuff, all that's done for her, but she's obviously powerful enough to kind of survive on her own. She's learned certain things knowing with some of the originals. So she's taken out, obviously that's going to kind of draw everyone in, at least Marcel for sure. And then we're going to have to see Eva kind of go up against everyone. And in the preview it seemed like a bunch of people were just getting attacked. So I saw Vincent in there, so he could die in the next episode. You never really know. They could have shown it and it could have actually been him dying. It could have been something that he could save from. So he was in there. I believe I saw Elijah being attacked and Marcel as well. So people are going to get attacked by her as Eva Sinclaire. I have to assume it's going to be Marcel first because he decided to stay. So if she does change, during the night or whatever in the next episode, then he'll of course be the first person to get attacked. But I'm definitely curious to see exactly what they do with this and how everything kind of goes with the witches, because in the very beginning of this episode they don't know it's Eva Sinclaire, and technically they still don't. They kind of didn't even go into it, which I thought was really interesting when Rebekah was just like, I don't know where I am. They honestly didn't even touch on that, like when she called Elijah and it seemed like she's in this crazy open warehouse space and stuff just in the middle of it, and it kind of cuts and then there's nothing. Like they don't even touch on that. Like Elijah didn't really talk to her anymore. Like that was kind of it. Like when she came to the little lunch or whatever, that was about it. But there wasn't like a full detail. Like we should probably look into this for a long time because you've been gone for, I think maybe it was like 2 or 3 hours or something. It was like some set of hours, and she didn't know where she was. They didn't know where she was. And then it kind of just blew over when she's like, I'm here, and I don't know where here is. So I was kind of surprised that he sort of blew over that after like such a big reveal that she's in this random open space. But I'm still excited for next week's episode because even though they didn't go into it in this one, they're obviously going to do it in the next episode, and we may or may not see some crazy stuff with the witches where they do decide like your 48 hours are up, or they find out that Eva Sinclaire has taken over, and I'd still love an explanation on that and how she's able to take over, if it's because she's so powerful or she was really powerful before she was taken down. Maybe they did like a spell that could only last for so long, and now that Rebekah's been freed, it kind of releases that spell or something, or lessens the spell or whatever. So I still want to answer to how she's able to take over her own body again, because we haven't seen that at all. And two of the characters were witches, or I guess three of them. Every character that's been taken over so far has been a witch character. So, what makes Eva Sinclaire so different, and then what's going to happen with all the other witches when they find out, like, sure, Rebekah was transferred into Eva's body, but if Eva's taking over, then that just makes it Eva Sinclaire again, and they're going to want her dead. So I want to see what's going to happen with this truce, and Elijah having to defend his sister, and him really being wrong in the beginning of this episode, thinking like, hey, it's Rebekah in this body, so it couldn't have been Eva Sinclaire. I'd like to see what his reaction is when he finds out, like, I was wrong about that, and then he's confronted by, kind of the witches and everything when they want revenge for the two children. So definitely excited for next week's episode. I don't know if it's going to be the resolution of the Eva Sinclaire stuff. I'd love to see that actually go on for a while, because I'm very excited about it, actually. But, that's going to be cool for next week's episode. We got to see our true first hint, I guess, of Dahlia in this episode at the very end with the humming and stuff. And I'm excited. Like, I was expecting to see a shadow or something, but they had, like, the music playing and stuff, which was really creepy music. It actually made me think of Resident Evil. Like, it's like a really creepy score that they have in one of the games. And I enjoyed it. I thought it was really cool. I'm excited to see her finally come into the town and just wreak havoc and destroy people and stuff. So whenever she gets in, which I'm sure still won't be the next episode, even though they gave us this little hint, I'm going to be excited for it. Like, however many episodes we have left this season, I'm still kind of on the fence, thinking that they're going to introduce her, but we still won't have her as, like, the villain until next season. I'm still really confident that that's how it's going, because they can't have too many more episodes. We're at, like, 16. They could probably only have, like, up to 23 or something like that, 23, 24 episodes. So they have quite a few, but they aren't going to have Dahlia come in, get defeated, and then move on to the next villain within these, by the end of this season, unless we're going to like 40 episodes or 50 episodes a season. So she's still going to be the season 3 villain, but I can't wait to see her come in and at least get like the first initial steps as to what she can do, what power she has, maybe even how she interacts with the other witches, because that could be a huge component to her character. And maybe she's, really powerful and well known, or maybe she stays hidden all the time, who knows. But I can't wait to see how they carry this out, especially with the Eva Sinclaire stuff and how that affects Rebekah and what may or may not happen with her going back to her old body, which I would love to see that happen. I haven't looked up any news as to whether or not the actress would be able to come back anytime soon, but I'd love to see that happen. I would love it. I like the current actress, but obviously, Rebekah, from all the way from the Vampire Diaries up till now, it's been the same actress, so I'd love to see her come back, but I'm excited either way, because I think the rest of the season is definitely going to get exciting, especially now that we've gotten a true first hint of Dahlia. We have the wolf stuff in this episode as well, which was, admittedly, it's kind of minor to me. Until it all kind of blows up, it's going to be crazy then. But for now, it's just like, the little hints where, they obviously know some stuff is going wrong. And once again, Klaus just losing his mind at the end on Haley. Like, the only person that can protect my daughter is me. And he's just going nuts. Klaus, I don't know. But I'm still incredibly excited. I did enjoy this episode a lot, though. And of course, I want to know what you guys thought. So please comment below. Let me know your favorite parts, your least favorite parts. And what do you guys think of Freya's story and, her intentions? Like, obviously, Klaus, 100% reservations on what he thinks is going to happen. But I personally think she's going to help. And considering what she went through, I don't think she's going to do what Klaus is thinking, where she's just going to try to save herself and kill Dahlia off no matter who else gets hurt. If anything, she'd want to protect, her niece. Like, it just makes perfect sense that she would try to help them in whatever way she could without hurting them, because what's the point of that? She's not going to kill off her brothers or sisters or sister-in-law even. Well, I guess not sister-in-law, but Haley. So I don't think she's going to go that route where it's like, I'm gonna kill Dahlia no matter who else gets killed. I think she's gonna actually care, because that's kind of why she helped take out Finn in the first place, because he was trying to kill the baby off. So, there are a lot of different things. I think she's actually gonna help though, but I want to know what you guys think, so please comment below, let me know, and thanks for watching.